Good day, everyone. This is Teacher Michelle once again. Welcome to another day of learning, another day of having fun. I hope so while learning, and another day of gaining information, gaining knowledge out of our virtual discussion this time. Before we start, let us have a short review on what we did last time. First is we have a short discussion on the 4 types of writing, right? The first one is narrative. When we say narrative, we are telling a story. Examples are short stories, of course, novels, and epics perhaps. The second one is expository. Expository is explaining a concept, is explaining a topic, is explaining an information to a wider audience. Examples are news articles, how-to articles, and textbook. The third one is descriptive. When we say descriptive, we will try to paint a picture through words. How? By using metaphors and literary devices. Examples are poems, journal articles. And the fourth one is persuasive text. Persuasive text means you will try to convince the readers to agree with what you are saying. Okay. Not only that, we also discussed about the steps in writing a composition. First is pre-writing, followed by drafting, revising, editing, and publishing. So this virtual discussion will focus more on the 4th type of writing, which is persuasive. And let us define first what is persuasive text. Persuasive is an adjective derived from the verb persuade. Persuade means you will convince the readers, you will convince somebody to agree with your argument, to agree with your position, to agree with your reasons. Okay? Now, why do we need to write a persuasive text? It's because you wanted the audience to believe in you. You wanted the readers to believe with what you are saying. Second one is, it's because you wanted to do something. You want your readers, after reading your text, will do something out of it. All right? Say, for example, you wrote a persuasive text on not throwing garbages anywhere. After the readers reading your text, then they will do something about it, right? The third one is change your mind. They change the minds of the readers. And then another one is it's because persuasive text is better than complaining or whining. Another reason why we will write persuasive text is because we wanted a better world after the readers have called an action after reading your persuasive text. How? How are we going to say that this and that is an example of persuasive text? We can, an advertisement is an example of persuasive text. Why this brand A, is better than brand B? Why do we eat at restaurant A than restaurant B? What are our reasons, right? Second one is a persuasive speech or a text is shown through article, specifically an editorial article or opinionated or opinion article. And the third one is we will try to have speech. And then the fourth one is review. Could either be movie review or music review. Why this song is better than that song. Why this movie is better than that movie. Okay, who? For whom is the persuasive text? It could be for your family. You will decide when eating dinner, you will decide, Mom, let's go to this restaurant. It's because, back up your reasons why. The next one is your friends, for your friends. Third one is for your classmates, could be your teachers, and strangers. All right. By definition, the main purpose of a persuasive text is to present a point of view and seeks to persuade a reader. It can be an argument. Examples of persuasive text are argument, an exposition, discussion, review, or even an advertisement. Okay, let us remember that when we say persuasive text, the main goal, the main purpose is just simply to convince the reader. To convince the reader with what you're saying, to convince the reader with what you're writing, to present a point of view and seeks to persuade, then and again, the reader. We all know that a text is structured into three, right? The first one is the introduction, second one is the body, then the third one is the conclusion. The introduction and the conclusion are the buns in your burger. The body is the meat. If one part is missing, then we cannot call that one a composition. We cannot call that one a text, or we cannot call that one a writing. So that is why the three, introduction, body, and conclusion, must be present in your speech, must be present in your text. In here, persuasive text is organized to include, they're just the same, organized to include statement of position. The statement of position in here is the introduction. How are you going to start your persuasive text? Say, for example, you will have it in a rhetorical question. Okay, or you could have a quotation. You could also have a statement from a well-known author. So that is how you will start your persuasive text. And of course, in the first paragraph, your argument will be stated, will be stipulated. Okay, the second one is arguments. In our arguments, it is where the reasons are found. Basically, in a persuasive text, it must have at least 3 reasons. I've said earlier that in the statement of position, the arguments are found there. What I'm trying to say is the main thesis, okay? The main reason of your statement of position. In arguments, these are the reasons, 3 reasons. And then the last one is reinforcement of position or statement. Whether you agree, disagree, what's your position on the statement? Okay, you will, in other words, you will sum it up in the conclusion part. In the statement of position, this will give an overview of the argument and reveals the position to be argued. Then and again, I've said earlier that you could start your persuasive text through rhetorical question. Or you could have it in a dialogue form to make it unconventional. Next one, arguments. In arguments, these are a series of points with supporting evidence. How are you going to back up your points? Your evidence must have examples, must have statistics, data from statistics, or must have, shall we say, yes, reasons. In arguments, you will present your reasons, your 3 reasons in here, and of course, you will explain why this and that, why you arrived on such reason. You will try to convince the reader into believing your point of view on a particular issue. So the argument is the body of your persuasive text. Next one, reinforcement of position statement. I've said earlier that this is the conclusion part, the concluding paragraph. This will strongly repeat what you believe in with a summary of your argument points. Okay, you will sum up your points, you will sum up your reasons in reinforcement of position statement. So, the same with how to the steps in writing a composition. Since a persuasive text is a composition, you will still follow the steps. The first one is pre-writing. Let us have a recap, a review. In pre-writing, we will have some brainstorming, a journaling exercise. You will jot down your ideas first before coming up with an outline in the draft. In drafting, it will consist of, again, 3 paragraphs. The introduction, which has 3 to 5 sentences in the paragraph, the body, and the conclusion. So that is the outline of your drafting part. The third one is revising. You need to check the revision part. You need to check what statement or what sentence is not needed, and then you will delete it, and then you will revise or change it, right? The fourth one is editing. In editing, this comes the proofreading, corrections. Corrections are made in here, proofreading. You will check the spelling, you will check the grammar, you will check the punctuation, or you will check the mechanics of your text. And then the fifth one is publishing. Publishing could either be online or printed, right? Before you proceed to publishing, make sure that have somebody to read your text. Okay, it's because it's different from our point of view. Now, what grammar and language conventions are used whenever we will be writing a persuasive text? It will be using words with high modality. Okay, it will use modals such as have to, must, or should. These are the modals with high modality. All right, compared to modals may, can, or could. Those are models that have only low modality. The second one is persuasive text will use emotive or descriptive words that will affect your feelings, that will affect the feelings of the readers, right? Descriptive words, these are adjectives such as cruel, kind, lovable, other emotive or descriptive words. The next one is formal voice, or we will use active voice, active form of the verb in which the subject, you, the one writing, is really the doer of the action. It's because it is has a strong impact compared to passive voice. The fourth one is repetition of words or phrases. If you wanted to emphasize something, if you wanted to let the reader know that this part is important, then that phrase or that word will be repeated in your text. So that is repetition. The fifth one is connectives, such as first, second. This is used in naming your reasons, in stating your reasons. We could either have conjunction in here. And of course, this is very important since we are calling for action, about to call an action. Then we will use present tense or present form of the verb. Okay, I have here an example. It is titled, Why Students Should Eat Breakfast Every Day. So that is our topic. That is the title of our persuasive text. So this is our introduction. A lot of people, especially young people, go through the day without having breakfast. Many people believe that it is not necessary, or they say that they don't have time for that and begin their day with no meal. Everyone should eat breakfast before going to their activities. This is our thesis statement, right? This is our position, statement of position. The purpose of this paper is to show the importance of breakfast, especially for students. So this is our introduction part. Now let's proceed to the body. We have here 3 reasons. The first reason why you should eat breakfast. So this is the time that you will present your argument. You will present your reasons. You will present your examples. You will present your statistics. The first reason why you should eat your breakfast is because before going to school, the school is for your health. When you skip breakfast and go to school, you are looking for a disease because it's not healthy to have an empty stomach all day long. Okay, this is the reason why. The first reason why students should have breakfast. It's very important to have a meal and not let your stomach work empty. All you are going to get is gastritis and a lot of problems with your health if you don't eat gastritis, if you don't eat breakfast. Okay. Second reason. Another reason for eating breakfast is because you need food to do well in your classes. Your body and your brain are not going to function as good as they could because you have no energy or no strength. That's correct. When you try to learn something and have nothing in your stomach, you are going to have a lot of trouble succeeding. A lot of people think that they should not eat breakfast because they are going to feel tired. But that's not true. Breakfast is not a very big meal. On the contrary, you're going to feel tired if you don't eat breakfast, have your breakfast, because you have spent the entire previous night without food. So in this part, you will explain the reason why or what are the effects, what will you get, what will your body receive if you will not have breakfast. And the last reason to have breakfast every day is because you can avoid diseases. If you eat some breakfast in the morning, if you don't eat, you are going to get sick, and this disease will have a stronger effect on you because you're going to get sick easier than people who have breakfast every day, which is true. You have to realize that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You cannot skip it without consequences for your health, your school, and your defense mechanism. It is better to wake up earlier and have a good breakfast than run to school without eating anything. It is time for you to do something for your health, and eating breakfast is the better way to start your day. So this part, you are summing up your points. You are restating your position. Okay? You are calling for action. You're calling for action to students that they should need eat breakfast before going to school. So I guess those are the what we need to know when it comes to persuasive text. Let us have a short review once again. Persuasive text is we will try to convince the reader with what we are saying, with what we are writing. Now, how are we going to convince the readers? By your body part, by giving the reasons, by giving explanation, by giving examples to your arguments, to your reasons. And it will end by summing up your points through a conclusion. So, I guess that is all for today. And if you have any questions, try to contact your teacher if you have some. That is all for today. And thank you for listening. Have a good day.